Hi, and welcome to Ed Talk. This is the show that looks at different educational topics at the schools in Nevada County. I'm Scott Lay, Nevada County Superintendent of Schools, and with me today is Noah Levinson. Noah, welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, Noah is the CTE coordinator, director. Official title?
I have the longest title in Nevada County.
Well, let's give the people the right title.
I am the Director of Career Technical Education and Federal and State Programs. And next year, I'm also going to be the director of our adult education high school, or adult education school.
So I would agree, you do have the longest title in our schools here in Nevada County.
I'm looking for my certificate.
There we go, yes.
My award, yeah.
Your award for that. But today, we are just going to focus on CTE and the amazing programs that the Nevada Joint Union High School District has. I think they're just one of the, I like to say, the hidden gems here in Nevada County. And something that every time I go and I walk around the different programs, they just amaze me. And so I think it's great to share with our audience here in Nevada County those really good things, the different schools, the different programs, and then kind of where we are with the future.
Yeah.
So I know you came to this role, first of all, though, Noah. You were the principal at Godoti High School.
I was.
For how many years was that?
So I actually started at Godoti in 2007. I was a math teacher and a history teacher there. And then in 2015, I became the principal. Yeah, and then I moved into this new role at the beginning of the school year.
Of this school year, right. Yeah. And what are something you're very humble about, and I want to make sure our audience knows, Godoti, under Noah's leadership, was one of the highest scoring schools in the state of California. And I think that is just something that was impressed me, and I know we went to different things and got that, so I think that is something that's been very cool, and under your leadership, and I know you bring that same enthusiasm, expertise, and style to the new role for CTE, so that makes me excited about what you're going to do as you put your stamp on the CTE program.
Thank you, and you know, a lot of people, when they first found out that I moved over to CTE, which, by the way, CTE is Career Technical Education. For folks my age in the audience, it's what we used to call ROP. It's really the hands-on skills where we're giving folks what they need to go into the workforce after high school. But when I first got this job, a lot of folks were wondering, well, wait, you were at Godoti, which was all about college and university.
Right, how does it transfer,
and how does
the skill sets? Yeah.
And for me, it's such a natural alignment between the two, actually. Because Godoti was very much about helping students with what are you going to do after high school? You're going to university.
Right.
And really preparing them for that.
Get them a path forward, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And to make that transition from high school to university, it's nothing seamless, but make it easier, right? Career technical education is very much this in a similar vein, right? It's creating an easy transition from the secondary, from the high school into the workforce. Because when we have students that when they cross that graduation stage, I want them to know what the plan is moving forward.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think when I walked across the stage in high school, I had no idea what the net plan was. It was going to be Sierra College, but then when I walked that stage, then it was Davis, but there was still no plan.
No plan.
And I love that CTE programs put in place that plan. And certainly the students, if they want to continue down that path, they've got a skill.
Yeah, and that's not, and a lot of our CTE students go to college too. You know, it's not
it's not exclusive.
But it's pretty cool.
It's a pretty cool program. When was it that, as you said, and I certainly remember it was ROP. When I was in high school, it was ROP. But we changed the name, and I don't remember when we dropped regional occupational programs, and it kind of transitioned to the new Career Tech Ed, or CTE.
That is an incredible question that I do not know the answer to, because I've just been in this role for 1 year. I know there actually are some ROP programs,
right?
But really, career technical education is the big push there. There's lots of grant money. There's lots of funding from both the state of California and from the federal government, because I think they see the need to really invigorate the workforce and give our young adults these skills.
Marketable skill coming out, And I'm going to hazard a guess, it was maybe 10 years ago. I think it was when Placer, we did our ROP program jointly with Nevada and Placer together. And I remember there was a funding change and Placer dropped I remember that meeting very well. And they dropped Nevada County, and the superintendent there at Nevada Joint Union High School couldn't believe it. And I think that's when they looked at alternate plans. And now we've got CTE, which is great. So let's get into it and talk about the programs, because you have different programs on the different sites. Yes. Within the Nevada Joint Union High School District. So starting with NU, I start there. It's our biggest comprehensive high school in the county, the biggest in your district. And you've got some state-of-the-art programs. I know one that's blown me away is the Culinary Center. Yeah. And the kitchen there that I think is second to none in the state. And I think there's only one or two other equals to it within the state of California that I've heard. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you, Nevada County, because a lot of this was funded by our Measure B funds, which really helped us with the facilities. All the CTE grant money that I talked about, most of it is for equipment and supplies and teachers and me, things that are in the building. But it really took the community to build the buildings. Yeah. And so our culinary program is incredible. We're actually, we do dual enrollment, meaning that our students get high school credit and they get college credit with Lake Tahoe Community College. Mm-hmm. And they came to tour the facility and we're just amazed because it is state of the art. Yeah. It is something, it's incredible. So like, for instance, I think folks at Nevada County Media would love this. So the instructor is up front and she's got cameras on her and then there are TVs in the background. So it's like Martha Stewart or Julia Child, is there. Folks, the students can see what she's cooking in the bowl on the counter, what she's chopping up, and then just ovens, stoves. Of course they're oven stoves, but they're industry standard. Yeah,
and I love the stations for each of the students who they're working there. And I love the entrance to the Minor Diner.
The Minor Diner, which is the coffee shop. And so remember, the idea behind CTE is really transitioning from high school to the workforce. Right. And so we've got the Minor Diner, so students are learning how to do that. But this year, the culinary program had about 80 events that they catered.
Wow. 80
events. So, how many school days are there?
Yeah, we got 180. So they were almost half of the days they were doing an event in Nevada County.
Yeah.
I know they did a couple for us.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great. And any of the audience, if you do get a chance, call the high school up, call the principal there, Kelly Roden, or Noah. Yeah. Numbers are on the webpage, and come tour it and see where the dollars went for Measure B and the programs, because it's phenomenal. Yeah. Every time I go in there, I'm blown away. And it's open. It's going to be open to the public next year, or that was, I hear you're trying. It's tough.
We're still working that out, but the location of it is actually pretty easy to get to. It's down in the B wing, so if you're an NU grad, you know where Auto Shop is and Wood Shop, and it's just right there. My office is actually right there, so I can get coffee.
Yeah.
But plans are in the works.
It's the works, because it was open for a little bit, I know. Yeah. Last year I'd stop by, and it's great. So let's talk about some of the other programs at Nevada Union specifically.
So easiest way for me to remember this, because I actually took every single ninth grader on tours of all of our facilities. So I need to think about
mentally the tour. Yeah, you need to walk the path.
I did the tour 8 times. Mm-hmm. NU's campus is big, and the elevation change is no joke.
Between ag mechanics and going down,
Yeah. So the very bottom where we started was Auto Shop. So George Woodward does a fantastic job down there. And also we have Justin Coyle does manufacturing, which with like $50,000. Think of like a 3D printer, but instead of printing plasticky things, it's actually this machine where students program it to take a chunk of metal and water sprays and saws come out and flames. It's pretty cool. So that's the manufacturing. And what I'm really excited about, I'm excited about everything. Yeah. But Justin Coyle, who teaches manufacturing, next year is also going to be teaching an introduction to building and construction trades.
Okay.
Which is something
that's something the community wants.
That's something the community wants.
The Contractors Association.
The Contractors Association. I was just on a meeting with them today. I'm jumping around a little bit, but so we've got construction trades at Silver Springs for a few years now. This current year, is our first year doing it at Bear River. And next year, like I mentioned, is going to be at Nevada Union. So we're actually partnered with the Contractors Association. In October, we're going to have a trades day at the fairgrounds.
Nice.
We're aiming for about 35 vendors, exhibitors,
Right.
with hands-on exhibits, and we're going to be bringing in all of our students from all these different programs that are related to construction trades. We're also going to be inviting 8th graders
To come and see.
see, to just get folks excited and get the students like thinking about, oh wait, I could make a really good living being the construction trades, and I'm a hands-on sort of person, and you know, men, women, like we need these folks.
Oh, we
in
do,
our
absolutely.
community. So,
That's something that's going to keep going.
yeah, so
That's great.
So that's
coming back.
construction trades.
Okay, so we're down there.
all right,
We've
so
done the
we're
B
down
wing.
there. We did the B, and culinary is down there too.
Right, we got those down there.
got
Right.
Okay, then we walked up the path.
Okay.
I did this 8 times, so I
Right.
know exactly what I'm doing. Oh my goodness, our sports medicine program, patient care program. Jamie Wise does an incredible job with that. It's culinary is one of our most popular programs, but sports medicine is insanely popular.
That's what I've heard, yeah.
And what I love about that program is Jamie has internships dialed in. So he had over 30, I want to say 40 internships this year. And those students, a lot of them are trainers on the different athletic teams, but we had students who were interns on ambulances, in the hospital, like, and like hands-on, like actually seeing stuff, which took a lot of work with Jamie and my predecessor, Aurora Thompson, who's now the assistant superintendent, because you can imagine all the insurance
get that
and
all set up
liability and all that.
Yeah.
But we had these students come in and share their experiences, and it's just,
That's great.
incredible what they're
Great program.
doing. Yeah.
Perfect.
So that's sports
All
medicine.
right, so we leave sports medicine.
Okay, and then take a little detour. We also have our digital media arts program with Carrie Kimball. In that program, they do facilitate the yearbook. They're working on an online website, journalism sort of thing.
Nice.
And so that's Carrie's program. And then the grand finale of the tour.
Okay.
You know what it is in Nevada
You're
Union.
going up the hill?
Going up the hill.
Up the hill, past the library.
Past the library.
Yep.
I love libraries. We're going
You're
past
going right
that.
by it.
Yeah. And what do we get to? Do you know?
Well, isn't there 2 up there?
2.
I thought you had
All right.
I thought you had the flowers.
Oh well. Okay.
And then your ag.
So let me explain. In the CTE world,
Right.
it's there's the umbrella sectors. Okay.
Okay.
And there are 15 sectors, and these are very broad.
Okay.
And agriculture is a sector.
So both of them.
So the ag sector is
covers
up
both of the
there.
programs.
And then more than 2 programs.
There's more.
Oh my
You've
goodness.
hidden them in my last tour then. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let me talk about our pathways. So the sectors are the broad overarching whatchamacallits, which
Right.
is
Categories,
the technical
you wanna
term,
say. Yeah,
categories.
right.
And then underneath that are the pathways.
Okay.
So you're right. You said flowers. That's actually our ag business
That's the ag business piece,
pathway.
which
Because those students, they work with flowers, but really what they're learning are the business skills.
Right.
So those students, they have monthly subscriptions for flowers. They probably are doing just as many events as our culinary. You know, a lot of times if you go to any school event and you see a beautiful centerpiece,
it's from your guys.
It's from-
We've done the same thing. We've
Yeah.
purchased many from
Yeah.
them. They do a fabulous job.
So
yeah.
that is great.
That's
I
got that
love that
piece.
those students
Yeah.
are learning those skills. We have, starting this year and continuing, a forestry class.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be everything from, logging and that sort of thing, but also being, doing firefighting out in the forest. I almost said manly, but it's womanly, it's manly,
Right.
but it's like the outdoorsy, thing that folks in Nevada County love.
Right.
So there's that pathway, which is new. We have an animal science pathway, which this year the main class we're offering is just an introduction to all the different animal categories. So, one unit on pigs, one unit on beef, that sort of thing. And then the class that feeds into is anatomy and physiology of animals.
Right.
And that one is, again, dual enrolled with Sierra College. So when students take that class, they get college credit for that. Then the other big ag pathway at Nevada Union with about 400 students is our ag mech.
Yeah,
So that's
great class.
welding. That's like the
things
shop
they're making
class.
in there.
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
Those are the things
Those
you
students
see
don't
at the
even
fair.
look up when you're walking. I mean, they're just so focused on putting them together.
When you go to the fair and it's NU or Bear River Ag, and it's something that doesn't eat and doesn't create fertilizer, it's meaning it's like a sculpture, or, table, that comes from the Ag Mech.
Yeah,
grill.
I think that's everybody's favorite place at the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
When you go to the fair, you want to go, what did the students make?
Yeah.
And you go check it all out. And then you can bid on most of it.
And
if not all of it, I know. And then the community, the support.
It's incredible.
Always, for that. All right, so anything else at NU?
That's it.
I mean, that's like,
that's a lot.
I don't know if there's room for anything more, but that's amazing. So let's go down. We'll swing by Silver.
Well, hold
Silver
on.
Springs. So we got...
Let's swing by Silver, and then I've got another detour.
Okay.
That's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So Silver Springs, we have, as I mentioned, our building construction
Right.
trade. So we've got about 20 students in that program. And it was the first building construction trades in the school district. So it was the pilot, and actually our teacher at Bear River this year is split between Bear River and Silver Springs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got
So-
that there. Great.
We've got that. And then, like I said, I want to make it a little detour.
Make a detour.
Okay. We're going to go to the ranch
Oh, down on McCourtney.
on McCourtney.
McCourtney Road.
Yeah. So the ranch it's halfway between NU and Bear River. So about 20 minutes for each of them. Because you have to go down McCourtney for a while.
Right.
Over by Clare Creek.
Right.
I
know where that is. Yes,
Creek
yeah.
is, yeah. So we were donated the ranch about 2 or 3 years ago, and again, I was Principal Godot at the time, so I wasn't thinking about it too much. But it is just, folks, email me, ask for a tour. I'd love to give it because it's just beautiful out there, and it's beautiful in so many ways. It's beautiful because it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
The grass and the rocks and the creek and the cattle and all that, but also just the opportunity and the potential for that. We took a bunch of FFA kids, and I should have mentioned it. We have FFA, of course, as part of AG, which is incredible what they do. We had a bunch of FFA kids who were giving tours to folks, and that morning the dew was on the grass, the sun was coming up, and a cow just gave birth to a little calf. That's what they're called.
That's what they're called.
That's what they're called. And you should have seen these FFA kids. They're just looking out across the landscape and just going, "This is it.
Yeah.
This is why we do it."
Yeah.
And you
that's
know,
great.
you hear the FFA kids recite the creed. And,
out there.
And they saw it all connected, and they're really excited about it. This summer, we're getting the animal pens put in. So if students don't have access, don't have land, they'll be able to have it.
Do that. That's great.
There,
And a great place for it.
Yeah.
Out there in McCourtney. Yeah, that was really nice. You got that donated.
Yeah.
Super cool. So we'll go down McCourtney, we'll pop out
And then
Higgins Corner and go over to Bear River.
Bear River.
Yeah.
Bear River, a lot of the ag is similar to NU. I forgot at NU we also have a small engines class as well, which is it's part of the ag mech pathway. Bear River has a small engines class that they started this year, and they also next year will have a power engines.
Oh, wow.
It's like big diesel
Big
things.
one, wow.
So like if kids want to move on to work on cats and that sort of thing, get jobs doing that, they can do that. Bear River has about 600, next year they'll have about 650 students. But their agriculture interest is so high that they hired a brand new, they have 2 teachers there. They hired another one. So we're going to end up with 3.5 ag teachers just at Bear River.
Just at Bear River alone.
Yeah. And and the demand is there. Like,
Right.
those students want to be taking those ag classes. So there are the engine classes, there's ag mech, and I want to give a big shout out to Andy Barheit, the ag mech teacher and the ag mech coach. His students got first place in the state of California for ag mech this year.
That's impressive.
It's crazy impressive.
Very
Just
impressive.
24 teams were invited to compete in the state, right? Out of, there's a lot.
All of them.
They got number 1. They get to go to Indianapolis in the fall to compete
That's
against
great.
all the other state winners.
Wow.
So it's just, man,
That's great.
And they're sophomores and juniors. Wow. They're competing against all these seniors.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're going to make a run for the next couple of years.
You know it.
That's great.
You know it.
All right.
So that's ag mech. Because we're hiring 2 new teachers, we're figuring out exactly what those pathways are going to be. We want something to do with probably animal science. It might be something with horticulture. We have to look and see what also the market and the industry needs. And that's part of career technical education is really working with our industry partners, like we mentioned, the Contractors Association. But each one of these pathways has what's called an advisory, where they invite industry partners in to advise on what classes
what
they should
they
be
really need.
teaching.
Yeah.
And
What do they want to hire after the kids get out?
So if you're watching this and you're not an educator, but you're in some industry and you want to help us out and give us some input on what skills you need employees to have, again, reach out to me. We're always looking for partnerships.
Yeah, perfect.
So that's ag. And then down the way, we actually go to my wife's old classroom. She's no longer there.
Right.
She's an assistant principal in some other county.
In some
We
other
don't-
county.
We don't care about.
Okay, we won't talk about that, Ken.
But she taught digital media arts, and Mike DeSico took over for her. Okay. And if I do say so myself, it's a very robust program. They have a graphic design course. Again, that one next year will be dual enrollment with Sierra College. So students will get college credit for applied art and design. They run their yearbook within a publication design class similar to NU. They also run the whole entire district's literary magazine outside or inside of that classroom. Right. And then they have beourcurrent.com, which is their online journalism kind of newspaper website. So
nice.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
And then we have really the last one at Bear River I'd want to talk about is the Tech Theater with Aaron Beatty, which some of the people that work here maybe know Aaron, but they do a phenomenal job. So in pretty much this side of Sacramento, what are we, east, west, north, south, somewhere? All the bright lights, I get disoriented. Northeast, Outside of Sacramento, that Bear River Theater is the most equipped, most professional theater in the area.
Really?
Yeah.
That I did not know.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Erin has experience doing theater production around the world. And so she really, and I should say, our career technical education teachers, their credential is based on work experience.
Right.
So they've all been in the industry, and that's actually how you get your credential.
Right, you have to be there first.
Yeah. You have to have many, many, many hours, years in the industry. So Erin really brings that to her students, and they're throughout the county. They're working, the Nevada City Theater. They're working in all the theaters, doing all these productions. It's pretty incredible.
That is great.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a
lot of choices for the students down there.
Yeah. It's pretty
so
exciting.
any more within the district? It's a phenomenal amount.
We could talk about next year.
I was going to say with this year, but I want to look. So let's look to the future now.
So
you've mentioned the one,
the building construction.
Building
trade.
construction going to Nevada Union. But what are some other things you're looking at?
Again, helping students transition to life after high school. That to me, that's a reason why we're here in high school, is helping these students for what they're going to do after high school. So What that looks like in CTE, I feel, is really internships, kind of going back to that old ROP model. So we're doing a few different things. One, we're going to be hiring an internship coordinator who's going to really help the teachers and help the students find internships.
That's a big job.
Yeah. Create joint venture agreements with employers and just really make sure that students are set up for success. So I'm really excited.
That'll be good.
I'm really excited about that. In addition, we're piloting a program down at Bear River that's really a course that's a shell for internships. Meaning that students that are in that class will be able to use those instructional minutes, we call them, to actually go do internships.
Okay, so out in the community then.
Out in the
set
community.
up right in their field of choice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm really excited about that too. And of course, we're going to have a teacher that oversees that. It's going to be 2 periods. So that way they actually get to spend a real amount of time in the workplace.
50 minutes won't do it.
No.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I'm really excited about is in the next few days, we're going to be posting a position for a CTE specific counselor. So a counselor who's going to be advising mostly our 8th and 9th grade students on what pathways they should be going into depending on what their interests are, right? Because these pathways are all 3 or 4 years worth of courses. So for a student to really take full advantage of that, guess what? They need to start in 9th or 10th grade. So it's going to be really important that that counselor is able to advise them.
Will they be working at all with any incoming 8th graders? Because if they're looking at a 4-way path.
Yeah, that's the.
Or is that down the road? That's down the road.
That's something that, not this year because I got to hire the person.
Get it going first.
But that is the goal, so that they can go meet with those 8th graders and talk to them.
Yeah, show them what's going on.
Yeah.
Wow.
So lots of stuff
Lots
is
going on. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And as I was telling the audience, this is just, if you haven't seen it, call up Noah, call up the principals, go see these programs that our taxpayer dollars have gone to. If you're like me, you're going to be really impressed. It's just, it makes you feel really good about the next generation of students coming out, that they are coming out of our high schools with marketable skills if they so choose. And can work right away, or they can go on to college, they can expand on that, they can build it, or just have it as a skill set in their life as they move forward. So very cool. Any parting words? No, anything else besides?
I think just a call to action to all of you watching. If you're in the industry, if you're worried about keeping folks in Nevada County, if you're worried about making sure that your future employees have the skills you want, reach out to me. That's really my job, is to be the conduit between the workforce and the schools and make sure that we're talking to each other and our programs are giving you the folks that you want as employees. So I'm just really excited.
Yeah, well, I can tell.
Yeah.
That's great. You're the right person for the job. All right. Well, I want to thank our audience for tuning in today. You've been listening to Ed Talk, where we go over today our topic was Career Tech Ed in our comprehensive high school, the Nevada Joint Union High School District. Thanks for watching. Take care.